Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live from the Ministry League studios in North Georgia, each week with John the Professor Podein and Paul Superman Spurlin, and with producer Caleb Sampson behind the glass on the Ministry League Network. And on all your other favorite platforms, here with all your ministry talk and the latest in news and sports. It's the Jon and Paul Show live.
Welcome to the Jon and Paul Show, brought to you by Ministry League. Ministryleague.com. Find us on everywhere social media at Ministry League. You can also go to the website. It is called JonandPaulShow.com. Send us an email if you got a question, JonandPaulShow@gmail.com. And this is the show. Welcome to the Jon and Paul Show. Caleb Sampson behind the glass, doing some special things at Heritage Christian. Blessings for them and all their work as one of our sponsors, and the Piedmont Road Church of Christ right here in Marietta, Georgia, and also the Calhoun Church of Christ in, ironically enough, Calhoun, Georgia. This is the show. I am Paul Spurlin. With me, as always, is Jon Podein. What do you say, Professor?
I will say that you almost made a slip. Woo, Paul, that was great. As soon as you started opening your mouth, I was like, "Ooh, he's about to say it. He's about to say it." Oh man, it is great. I hope everybody has their allergy medicine going, because guess what, Paul? Spring is in the air.
It is, and the pollen is flying, my friend.
And so is pollen. Oh my goodness, yes it is. But hey, that means wonderful time, but it also means a busy time for everybody in ministry, everything going on. I mean, you and I were just talking here before the show started about all the list of things that are happening here within, 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
Yeah.
That are about to take place. And it's just like, wow.
Well, it kind of kicks off this weekend, and it's going to kind of go boom, 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 like constantly. So for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. And ministry is, as they say, busting. I mean, it's going places, you know?
It is, Paul. And that's what we're going to spend some time talking about today a little bit. But, I mean, there are so many things that are going on right now in ministry, and things to be looking forward to coming up that, look, if you're not doing something or attending something, you're lazy, okay? And you probably need to get out of ministry, because it's that much stuff that is happening right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, and a lot of productive things. And the one thing we've noticed, especially 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when we started all this stuff, every event becomes special if it hits a certain niche. If it does something special, don't just have a Saturday day and just say, let's go with what thing we're going to do. Have something intentional, do something for somebody in the church and enrich their lives because of it. And the things we see, the things we're going to mention here coming up, are things that are intentional and are hitting certain groups of people in the church, and in some cases all of them. And so it's special and it's neat, and you got to appreciate those who put the time in, the planning in for a good event.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. And we have a whole list of things. And no, Jackson, I'm not driving.
He's not.
That's why I'm stopped. That's why I'm stopped.
No, it's not driving. We're good.
That's right. And there is a whole list of things that we want to mention, Paul, of things that are going on right now to talk about, especially if you're in the southeastern region, and especially in Georgia, that we just kind of want to hit on a little bit today of things that people may not know about.
Yeah, and one of those is this Saturday. We won't mention it just yet because that's the focus of our show today. Kind of a Men's Day thing we're going to discuss in just a few minutes. But we do want to talk about that last weekend of April is Thrive, an event for ministry at the Decatur Church of Christ in Decatur, Alabama. Caleb is a part of that, big time part of that. And that's one of the things we want to discuss and make everybody aware of. That's the weekend before Ministry League Experience. And of course, before that, John, is a little thing we have on Easter weekend. What's that?
Oh, the Easter weekend, Paul, that's huge. I know there's a lot of people that are that are listening to this that participate in it, and that is the Lads to Leaders Convention in so many different locations, from Nashville to Atlanta, Louisville, what else? Orlando, Fort Worth, Little Rock, all those weekends taking place. And then there's also one in Colorado. There's one in the mid-Atlantic, and there's also one in North Las Vegas. So all around going on. And that is one thing I know. I talked with Gary Hoagland yesterday in the office because we're trying to get stuff ready for audio, video going in different places, and everything is busting at the seams, and that is coming on quickly.
Speaking of that, I've got to speak to a comment. Usually John talks about every comment that hits the screen, but for some reason he missed this one. Yes, Hardison. John likes sitting in his car no matter what. That is his office. And sometimes he'll just leave the church building and just walk in the parking lot and just sit in his car.
I do.
So,
do that often.
That being said, a big shout out. Happy birthday to Hardison Moles yesterday. Very excited about that. I was going to say your age. I don't think it matters. You're so young. Who cares? But you're mid-20s. Enjoy that. But also I want to say shout out to Hardison and to Jackson. Both of them are watching the show. Thank you so much. Two of the best AV guys in the Brotherhood. We're excited that you're a part of the things we do. We love you dearly, and thanks for joining the show.
Yeah, and there'll be some conversations you guys and I will be having a little bit later.
A lot of things happening.
A lot of things happening, but yeah, Paul, everything does kind of kick off with, besides what we're going to talk about for this weekend coming up with Lads the Leaders heading out there, and then we have some other things that are going to take place right after Lads.
Yeah, as we mentioned, the Thrive in Decatur, Alabama, also ministry experience here, which, by the way, I just saw the boxes of T-shirts going right by my door, so they're here. If we have time and I can get away and we'll show you what a shirt looks like. But or not, we'll just see. And then, of course, the summer kicks off something you and I do together with some great folks in North Georgia. You want to share that with some folks?
Yeah, we host a week of Camp Wetoga. That's in North Georgia mountains there between Blue Ridge and Blairsville. If you want to come and have a wonderful experience, we'd love to have it. And think about it. It's Jon and Paul Show all week long.
It's going to be great. The morning wake up is going to be awesome.
Yes, the morning wake up is actually by the one and only Sean Slauson.
Punk Sissy Sean Slauson. He calls him.
I saw him this weekend. He was already this past weekend. He was already
rare form.
Excited. Yes, he was already in rare form. He was doing all the changing for classes, Paul, and I was like, oh, he's getting ready.
Oh yeah. Morning campers.
He is getting ready. Yep. Good morning campers. Paul, and we just mentioned a couple of things, but ministry really has, especially with events, and it's not just youth events anymore. It is, and one we're going to talk about today. It's women's, it's ladies' days, and things like that are going on. It's college things that are happening. Ministry, especially as far as this stuff, has become a year-round product of its own self. Back in the days, we used to be like, well, okay, we got about 4 or 5 months, and then we got some summer stuff, but then we get a break. It's not like that anymore.
It's constantly. There's always stuff going on, and I do want to give a shout out to the children's camp weekend at Maywood Christian Camp in the Hamilton, Alabama. The Maywood Christian Camp. I know Jeff Goff would appreciate me promoting that. And Frodo mentioned it too. Yes, please. We need kids and we need help. Their new director is the one and only Frodo, Jonathan Germany. So,
Frodo.
Yeah, pretty excited about that. So that is May 19 through 20.
Yes.
2-day camp. Looking forward to that. Children's camp. So he is the youth minister at the Haleyville Church of Christ in Haleyville, Alabama. Please contact him. He's on Facebook. Available, and I'm sure if he would like to, he can post some information on that in the show notes of our show. So look there for that as well. So John, you're right. Every other week, every other day, there's something going on. And the one thing we did mention is the one thing we want to talk about because it's happening Saturday at the LJ Church of Christ, one of our sponsors, former sponsors here in the North Georgia area. Great church, great eldership. Love the church, love the people. Just north of us here, and just I guess east of you, where you are. And so let's talk a little bit about the Men's Day on Saturday from 8:30 to 12:30.
Yes. It is the
Godly
men's
men
leadership
in the church.
conference.
Yeah, go
Yeah, the
ahead.
men's leadership conference, Paul. This was actually going on. It started years ago with the Central Church in Dalton, and LJ so graciously, I think last year, took it up and to continue it out. And so it is an amazing event, amazing speakers that are going to be there. And I think, Paul, you got the list in front of you. Everybody going to be there. I know Hiram and Neil are going to be some of the keynote guys that are in there. But it's a great time for the men of North Georgia to come together and have fellowship and to learn something about leadership and to help the church grow.
For sure. I got to fix a faux pas. I just messed up. I said Frodo's at the
say?
Halo Church. He's not the Halo Church. He's the 9th Avenue Church in Halo.
9th Avenue Church.
I knew that. I know that. Anyway, there you go. I fixed it.
Did he already text you already?
He did. He's all on that deal. But I get it. It is what it is. Yeah, we have Hiram Kemp coming, and also Neil Pollard, as they are working together in Kentucky, and just appreciate the work that they do. Really appreciate them leaving Avenue there in Bowling Green. Love those guys, and they'll be speaking for that. And also Will Hanstein will be speaking, who is the director of East Tennessee School of Preaching, but now it's under Southeast Tennessee.
Yeah, Southeastern Institute of Biblical Studies.
Right. So it's a mouthful, but it's all good stuff. So we just appreciate them being there, and the elders are doing that. And what we're going to do is kind of go through the schedule a little bit to tell you what all is offered. And John doesn't have it, I do. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. 8:30 is breakfast.
Let it rip.
We're starting it right. All right. They'll be slinging biscuits.
Are we starting it right at 8:30 in the morning? Come on, Jeremy Green.
Well, 9:30 is better, but you get it all in. You got to eat first. So
yes, we do.
So 8:30 is breakfast. Come on in there. Right now they got like 120 registered, so it's going to be a good crowd. Looking forward to that. They'll start singing at 9:00, and then keynote number 1 starts at 9:15. Hiram and Neil looks like they're speaking together, similar to what John and I do occasionally, I guess, as we side by side speak. So that'll be kind of fun to see that interaction. I think sometimes people get a different, different understanding or a different appreciation when you get a couple of guys standing together, John.
It does. It is a different atmosphere. It's very more conversational, kind of like how you and I have what we do and what we've done before in the past at events. Yeah. And I think it makes everybody a little more comfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a little more open. So, yeah, absolutely looking forward to Hiram. And if you've never heard Hiram before, Hiram, a graduate from Florida School of Preaching, does a tremendous job. We've had him on at Exposure. Neil's a Faulkner grad, and he has been up at Bowling Green forever. And so you're going to get a couple of guys with a lot of experience and a lot of wisdom coming out.
Oh, for sure. Let's see. So they'll have some announcements at 9:45. 10 o'clock is the first breakout session. So these lessons will be on lesson development. So I'm assuming if you are a preacher and you want to get a deeper dive into putting lessons together for preaching, but also for maybe teaching classes, lesson development is a class that we offered there. Also, there's a preacher's session that Hiram and Neil will be doing together again on that. And then there's also an elders session that the LJ elders will do. And there's also a place here where it says elders or prospective elders. So if you're a deacon or another man in the church that loves to lead and aspires to that, has a desire for that, you need to go. These are good guys, and then it'll be a good opportunity to be together. And that's a pretty good packed morning, I think.
Absolutely. It's always been a great time. It's always a great time of fellowship. And I appreciate so much Jeremy and the guys over there at LJ for taking it over and keeping this going. And we've had great speakers over the year, and this year is going to be no different. And so if you are in the North Georgia area, registration's already open. I think, what did Jeremy say? They got 120. Is that what you said when he talked to them this morning? So 120 already registered. I know there's a bunch from Calhoun that's not registered that's going over. You have some from Piedmont Road that are going that haven't registered. So it's going to be, we'll be up there at least about 150 men. That's going to be an amazing time. So if you're in anywhere the Tennessee, North Georgia region, please, we'd love to have you come over.
If you're from South Georgia, we'd love to have you too.
We would, but it's going to be a long drive.
Yeah, you got it. And after that break, there's going to be another keynote with both Hiram and Neil, and then we'll have lunch after that. And so,
then we'll close it out right, Paul. We're going to open it up right. We will. And if you have never eaten food from the ladies of LJ Church of Christ, then you have never had a church potluck. You've never had a church meal like eating with the ladies at LJ.
That's true. That's absolutely true. It's one of those preachers' luncheons that no one misses because it's one of those.
That's correct.
Well worth the trip.
That is 1,000% correct.
Well worth the trip. So I look forward to that. That'll be one of the closest men's days I'll be able to drive to. So I'm excited about it.
Absolutely. I know it's going to be great, Paul.
I live like at the bottom of the hill, so I'm looking excited about that. They did insert a verse here on this I thought was kind of neat to mention in 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. A great passage for what we're doing, that the work you do matters. And I guess that's kind of a way to discuss this whole day is guys and girls in ministry. When you do things and you affect people, you talk people, it all comes back to relationships. We know that, but it's all about everything you do. God knows. He knows the good, the bad, the ugly, but it's like, let us know, let us understand that what you do matters.
Yep. It matters so much, Paul. That is, people wonder, I know we do, as ministers that are working full time in it, and those especially that don't work in full time, you have to ask yourself that question: Am I really making a difference in people's lives? Am I really making a difference? Am I really planting these seeds? And the answer is absolutely yes, you are. You absolutely are making a difference, whether it's for a kid in an elementary Bible class, or if it's for that 90-year-old person that's sitting on the pew getting what they need to help continue to grow. Yes, you matter.
It's just one of those things. To give you an example of ministry, we got this on Saturday morning. As soon as it's over, I've got to rush back down to the house and grab Tyler because Stephanie and Laney are going to the church building in Marietta at Piedmont Road because we have our ladies' tea, our Laz leaderettes tea. And so that's happening that afternoon. So it's a full day of stuff, and it's good. It's good.
Yeah, we're doing our lads Sunday, in fact. So the ladies will go in one spot after we get finished with service, and the guys will go and do another thing because it is. But Paul, let me tell you something, and you and I know this from experience. It is those moments, especially with our teenagers and our kids, that imprint and make a difference. You and I would not be doing what we are doing today if our parents had not done that with us.
That's true.
And it makes a difference.
It does. It does. One thing that we do with our Connections program is each Sunday night we have a different opportunity to do something, whether it be a service project or we meet with our connection groups, or what we've been doing the past 6 months is that on Sunday night after our devotional, we'll have what you just mentioned, our Lives Leaders Showcase. So our guys take the auditorium, our ladies go to the fellowship hall, and they have that time once a month to kind of lead a song and show the speeches they do, and then learn those and go over those some more and have some discussion among each other. And so I'd like to kind of motivate and challenge congregations that if you're not doing a monthly or something through the year for folks, especially when it comes to not just lives leaders, but really any child who can speak, you need to do that. You need to start working that and giving them opportunities to participate in a devotional of some kind and let them understand what public service is in worship, but also giving ladies an opportunity to speak to ladies and things like that. Create those opportunities. That's going to make your church grow. And it's also going to build self-confidence in each other as well. As we do.
Absolutely. I love the fact that what y'all are doing with Piedmont Road, and we're doing some of this with Calhoun. It's not just you're staying in the building. It is you're getting out into the community around you and showing that ministry is active. Ministry is actually using your feet, using your hands, and being a part of everything. And so, absolutely, Paul.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what else on Saturday? Anything else we need to mention as far as the day goes?
No, I got a lot of homework to do for school. Does that matter?
I will say that we do have a lot of folks now. Thank you. Now starting to trickle in with registrating. Do you registrate for ministry experience? What's up? Hey, there we are.
You've just made a new word, Paul. Registrating. The art of registration.
That's right. One thing to keep in mind, we did purchase 75 tickets for the Braves game. Half are gone. And so we need to get folks in to register online so we know how many will be going to the game that Saturday night of the Ministry Experience. One thing that people seem to misunderstand, because John and I have been doing this a long time, this is not a youth rally. This is an everyone rally. This is for everybody. We've got classes for teenagers. We'll have mixture games and opportunities for teenagers, but we also have that for adults. We have it for creators. We're running our rotation model, our rotation education for our K-5 downstairs. Some people are wondering in education. In fact, I was speaking with Jeremy Green just the other day about that very thing, and they want our curriculum and how we do it and how you do it. Y'all need to come and watch it in action. And so we're going to have the science lab going. We'll have the movie room running, the game room, the art room, the art studio, and we're teaching Bible through these things. And our kids' retention is incredible. I can't say enough about it. We've said a lot about it on the show before. But anyway, all that's happening this weekend. And so a lot of cool things. We'll don't spend a whole lot of time on that, but just remind you of that. Go to Facebook. It's everywhere. And ministryleague.com will take you to that stuff. All right, John.
Absolutely.
Let's get into a little bit of sports, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I figure you have some things that you want to talk about since Alabama is still one of the only teams, number one seeds, that are in the tournament still.
There's two.
Yes, I know. There's two.
But yeah, you're right. But it's the 23rd of May, and we have 7 days until the Braves. And I am probably as excited about that as the other thing. So I'm pretty excited.
I'm excited. I got to ask you this, Paul, since we are talking a little sports here. Are you a little upset with some of the moves that are taking place within the Braves front office about shortstop?
I know what you're saying. I know. I was a little shocked, but after getting some more information on why they're making these moves, it kind of makes sense. It's a little greedy, but I get it. The Braves moved Brandon Shoemake, who was not our favorite. He was in AAA, but they sent him back down. And, of course, Vaughn Grissom. They sent Vaughn Grissom back down. They did this so that they don't start the major league season as a major leaguer, because that would go ahead and put them on the price point for a Major League Baseball player. If he starts in AAA, then they get to keep them for an extra year, is what I'm understanding. So,
okay.
So it was a financial decision. Orlando Arcia looks like he will be our shortstop when the season starts. And he played for the Marlins. I think it was the Marlins for 4 or 5 years.
And he's very capable. Let's just say that.
He can play ball. And his bat is okay. It's average, maybe a little less than average, but he has spots where he does really well. So, we'll see.
Right now, Dansby's not doing well at all.
Yeah, that's kind of funny, actually. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dansby not doing well, and then Freddie Freeman playing for the Canadian team. Yeah, all that kind of makes sense. So we'll continue. I'm nothing against Canadians. It's just kind of funny because he wasn't, anyway. I think his mom was Canadian. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, Braves in 7 days. Looking forward to that. And then, of course, as you mentioned, we do have March Madness. The Sweet 16 starts tonight. And yes, the Alabama Crimson Tide is in it still. And yes, they probably are on the, I hate to say easiest, but they are on the smooth road to the Final Four. So
they do seem to have the cleanest path to get to that front. Tennessee people getting the hate, aren't they?
They are. They are.
They are
threw a few
getting the
elbows.
hate.
They threw a few
Yes.
elbows last week. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, Frodo. Not everybody can be Brigman. I'm excited. This is a great time of the year that we get baseball back. We get the March Madness kicking in. And last week, look, March Madness last week was madness. It was some crazy upsets and games, and that's one thing you do love about March Madness that you don't get with college football.
That's true. Yeah, everybody's got a shot. If they have a winning season, everybody's got a shot, especially with 64 teams. But we're down to 16. And John, I thought the best way to do this is let's make some picks. I think that's what we should do.
Okay.
What do you think? You don't sound too excited.
To be honest with you, I haven't watched much of it. I just watched the highlights that are coming back. I don't even know who's still in it, to be honest with you, except for Alabama and Tennessee.
Well, let me just roll. I won't make you make picks, but let's just go through and talk about who's playing. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and start in the South. That's where we live. That's who we know is in there. But we got people in all over the place. But you have Creighton and Princeton. Princeton is a 15 seed. Wasn't supposed to do much, but exactly, Tyler. Thank you. Okay, and so, but they're beating the socks off people. They're going up against Creighton. Creighton, is a 6 seed. You would assume Creighton wins this game. I think they probably will. On the other side of that is San Diego State versus Alabama. San Diego State has a good defense. From what everyone's saying, and I wish they wouldn't, but what everyone is saying is Alabama has one of the best defenses left. UConn's also good. UCLA is also good. But
they are. And honestly, because of how Tennessee plays, I think you got to put Tennessee on there, even though it's rough. I think you got to put Tennessee up there with their defense.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after FAU's coach basically said he had to contact the Australian rugby team to find out how to play Tennessee. I thought it was kind of funny.
Word.
But yeah, so FAU versus Tennessee. Tennessee is down a player on this, from what I hear, but I still think the Vols win that game, and so I say Vols over FAU. You got K-State, Kansas State going up against Michigan State. I'll probably go with Michigan State on that deal. But
what's interesting is, Paul, you got some people that are left in this tournament that are not typically there. That's what I think I find very interesting in what's happening right now in March Madness.
Oh, you mean Arkansas?
Arkansas in there
to make the Sweet 16, but they're there and they're playing like crazy.
Yeah. So, and then their coach is ripping their shirt off. So his shirt off. So there you go.
That was not a great look.
I'm not sure I could ever get to that.
No, to see FAU in there is weird. Princeton is weird.
Yeah.
Creighton, it's been a while, but I get it.
Creighton I can get. Michigan State, and probably UCLA, probably your last really true blue bloods.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of in there.
Would you call Gonzaga blue blood? They've never won it all, but they're always there.
They never won it all, but especially over the last 10 years and decade, they've been there.
With my luck, they'll win it against Alabama.
And you will hate life.
I know.
Because Stephanie will not let you forget that.
I know. My wife is a Gonzaga fan. Only because, if I say it, it'll go crazy. Because she loves Bulldogs. I know. I live in Georgia. He does. He loves Bulldogs. I mean, Bulldogs are a cute animal. Let's just go with that.
Are they? Are they cute? Are they? They look like a fat, pudgy.
Said from the Gator fan.
Oh.
That's why this part of the show is so fun. Okay, we have Houston going up against Miami. Houston struggled.
Houston struggled
against Auburn, which Auburn is no slouch.
Auburn is not a slouch. Yeah.
So Houston, Miami. I'll probably take Houston. Just go with the chalk on that deal.
Elephants are definitely not cute.
It's funny you wouldn't put who said that. I've never seen an elephant that wasn't cute. So let's go. I don't know what cute was. Intimidation. That's what I need. All right. Xavier taking on Texas. I'm not a Xavier fan at this point because they beat my my other K-State people, Kennesaw State. Give them a game.
Kennesaw State did give them a game. But that's what happens in that first round.
I know, but still.
That's what happens in that first round.
Dude, they're 10 minutes up the street.
They
could have won that game. Man. But we pulled
big
for 'em.
commuter college.
Dude, we had people in public school all over Cherokee and Cobb County that are like, let's go Kennesaw, let's go Owls. It was
That's crazy.
That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
That's crazy.
Dude, Tyler, I'm gonna disconnect your connection. Just get out of here. All right. So I'll say Texas over them. Arkansas is playing UConn. Arkansas, you're in the SEC. God bless America. Sorry, you didn't win this game.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna win that game.
No, UConn's their defense is way too good. It'll be interesting to see. The big game, I think the biggest game and the toughest road to the Final Four is going to be Gonzaga and UCLA. The late game, 9:40 for us, John.
Yes, those two West Coast teams going at it. A lot of pride for that between those two. Not that, like I said, I don't keep up with basketball and especially West Coast basketball. I get that, Tyler. I get why you're not going to root for Texas. I'm not going to root for Texas either coming here in the SEC next year. But,
true.
Yeah, I think overall, I think this has been a good March Madness tournament because it has been great.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyler was explaining why he said Xavier. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because of the K-State thing I missed. Okay, yeah. Texas, he's an Okie fan, so there ain't no way.
I know.
I get that.
Me and him will have to end up being – me and him are going to end up being rivals with each other if they put the permanent teams as Florida and Oklahoma.
You can thank old Bobby for that one.
Yeah.
Bob Stoops made that happen. For sure. Anything else you got? You ready to go?
No. I'm going to have to go here in a second. So, yep. So, hey, it's going to be good. We'll get curious to see who ends up in the Final Four going on for next weekend. Then we'll make our Final Four championship picks. For sure. That'll be good. And anybody wants in on any kind of Christian wonderful wages that we could do, then let us know, especially if what is a scenario that would be fun? Let's see. If Alabama plays Tennessee in the Final Four, that would be fun. That would be fun. That one would be
That'd
fun.
be fun.
That one would be fun.
And then I truly think
because then you and Jackson could have a wager against each other.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that'd be fun.
And you could maybe pay him back from.
Well, Jeremy Powell is like in my backyard over here. We'd have to do something. Oh, what I wouldn't give to put Jeremy Powell in an Alabama shirt. Oh, that'd be great. And then on the other side,
don't do it.
I think it's Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga wins the West, but who would you put him up against? Probably, dude, I don't know. That Midwest is a mess. I don't know.
The Midwest, well, a couple of things are just trash.
You got,
I
Houston, Miami, Xavier, and Texas. And Houston's the number one seed, but I don't know. That Sasser is hurt. He did do well against Auburn when he played. He didn't play the whole game. I don't know. I'm not getting into it just now. But anyway, this has been our show. We have talked about ministry. We talked about a crazy schedule. We talked a little bit about the Braves. We talked some March Madness. But the most important thing is we hope if you're in North Georgia, we see you Saturday at the LJ Church of Christ for the Men's Leadership Day. It's going to be a great time. Look forward to that fellowship and all the things we'll learn and take with us. John, what do you have to say as we depart?
Oh, Paul, I just hope everybody has a great weekend, has a great day. I cannot believe, Paul, we're already in April. We are already getting there at the door.
Here we are.
Yep.
We
hope to see all of you in about 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 6 weeks at the Ministry League Experience.
That's right. Go to the website, check it out, register.
Yep.
If you have any questions, send us an email.
Absolutely.
Jon Paul at gmail.com or me at paul@lifeinchrist.com, and we would love to help you out whatever we can. For Jon Podein, I am Paul Spurlin. This has been the Jon and Paul Show, and follow us everywhere you can on social media at Jon and Paul or at Ministry League. for the team here, and thanks to Caleb and everybody at Heritage. They got a big thing going on today and this weekend. Continue blessing for y'all, for all of us here. We love you, appreciate you. Take care, and God bless.